Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fancy Friday. I'm so excited. Woo! Can we hear that? Are y'all excited to be here?
What's happening? How y'all doing?
We are excited to have you. As y'all know, we are back here yet another First Friday in support of mental health awareness. I'm one of your hosts, Anisha Mingo. My other co-host is here, Mr. Charles Whitby. We got our music therapist on the music, Donnie DL Music Lee. And we have two incredible guests, Miss Shanoa McCoy and Brandarius Johnson. How y'all doing this evening?
Good. Glad to be here.
We are glad to have you. So if anybody's been paying attention, y'all know that this month's Fast Friday, we are keeping our topics relevant. And so tonight we're talking about back to school stress, because if anybody's been paying attention, you don't have to have children, you don't have to be a teacher, you don't have to be a parent. Your internet has probably been messed up just because everybody is on virtual platform right now. And so it's so relevant right now during this pandemic, especially here in Las Vegas, where we are on an all virtual school platform right now. And so we have Mr. Shanoa McCoy, who's going to talk to us, give us some tips for parents as well as teachers on how we can support our students and ourselves during this time and really make it as least stressful as possible, especially during such a pandemic. And then we're going to hear from Mr. Brandarius Johnson later in the show, because September is Suicide Awareness Month, and his organization, Day One Ambition, is all about suicide prevention. And I've been watching him, and I'm just super excited to hear more about his organization, his passion, and his story, because everything we do here for as Solutions to Change and MHS is about mental health and mental health awareness and support. So I just want to thank y'all again.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Oh, Miss
Hey, Brandarius look like he's straight chilling tonight. You know what I mean?
It's been a long day, man.
Hey, listen. Sometimes Fancy Friday is like he's fall back Friday.
Right.
Brandarius is all the way fall back.
Yeah.
That's all right. Look, we having a good time. But yes, Charles. So we're going to talk to Shanoa first. First of all, Shanoa, one of my friends tagged you. I have friends who are teachers, but I wanted someone different on the show. And I got a chance to peek at your page, and I see that you did a ton of stuff with youth empowerment, and that you were a teacher at Canyon Springs. And then through talking to you, learn a little bit more about your educational background and the fact that you're a parent and you are kind of currently experiencing both sides, being a mom and a teacher. I was like, how is that working? Just a little bit about that.
It's been really tough. It's been tough the last 2 weeks, having to teach and also having to facilitate my daughter's school. And she's an elementary kid, so it's been very, very rough. But I think it helps the engagement in my classroom, because my students see me. They see me pressing through, because my household sounds like a lot like their household, because I can hear them when I have them mute. I can hear like 2 or 3 other teachers in the background, and they see me. They see me sometimes having to mute and get on my daughter, like, you focus, stop playing around. They hear me saying that, but they also see the press. So I think that it helps with the engagement in my classroom, because they see if I can press through it, they can press through it too. So, but it is very tough. It is tough.
I think that's like a really powerful, I appreciate that you were transparent, like they can hear you in the background. And I think even when you and I were speaking, you said, hey, you had to go help your child with something for, some technology issue they were having. And to be a teacher right now and actually teaching virtually and have a kid, like many people are working from home, and it's difficult already, but to actually be a teacher in the classroom with this, still have to turn around and help your child, I just can't imagine like what that looks like. So you and I were talking a little bit about balance. Like, how do you help yourself balance that out?
I try to take as many breaks as possible, because it's hard to it's hard to snap in and snap out. And what I mean by that is like I have to go into teacher mode, and sometimes I do have to go into mama mode, and that is tough. So I try to take as many breaks as I can, and that looks like me going into the other room and getting myself together, because I have to control the climate in my house and the climate in my classroom. So I have to always try to hold it together as much as possible. So I just try to take breaks, and like when school is out, because I'm always in the house, I try to go for a drive or go for a walk. And I get up in the mornings, and I try to preserve my authentic thoughts by not getting on Facebook, not getting on looking at the TV, because it's full of negativity. You have parents venting, which they have a right to. I vent too, but just seeing that in the early mornings, just it's hard when I have to hold myself. I have to hold myself together and show up for my kids and my daughter too, and my household. So I have to do certain things to keep my composure and keep it together.
Shanoa, what are your parents being about right now?
Can you say it one more time? It was going in and out.
What are some of those issues that parents are venting about most right now?
I would say technology and I think it's hard for, and I've vented about this as well, having the kids focus, because especially the elementary kids, they don't know how to mute their phones. So everybody is talking at once, that everybody's in the background talking, and the teacher's trying to teach, and it's just, it was chaotic at the beginning. So I think a lot of parents were venting about that, and the behavior. Some kids would hand out the Google Meet codes to other kids that don't even go to the school, and they coming in cussing and being rambunctious and stuff. So everybody was venting about that, and it's just tough, like how they're going to work and teach their kid. So it's been a lot of venting, and everybody has a right, because I've been there too, and I've been frustrated too.
I was wondering how the kids going to act up, and while they're in a virtual platform, and kids will find a way. I heard that they are texting each other.
Yeah.
They're writing crazy stuff in the Google chats at the
Mm-hmm.
classroom, and teachers are having to regulate that. So
Right.
Speaking of things in the background, what's in your background?
I put this together. This is just my background. That is just a message to my kids, and sometimes they veer off in thought. So when they look at that, they can see. And I send a video to my kids, and I let them know this is what I think of them when I get on here. I don't take this lightly. Like this is just something to bypass the time. I always think of them as future world changers. That's why I'm getting on here teaching. So that helps me get in the mode. That helps position me to make sure I'm on my A game. So I sent that to them, and that's why I arrange my board that way, because that's actually what I think about them. They're our future world changers, and this is very serious to me. I'm very passionate about that. So
I like to actually step in here and discuss that, because like from my perspective, people always ask me the question about having children. Like, if I don't have children, and they always ask like, hey, do you ever want children? And including you here, Shanoa, because I feel like if I did have children, I want them to be world changers. I don't want just fit in the mold and do everything the same way it's always been done. I always have respected the perspective of like, if I birth kids into this world, the focus for those children are going to be able, like I want them to leave a legacy and to make a difference on this earth. So I salute you for that. I think that's incredible. So salute.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's hard to and I would say it's especially hard during this time to get them to focus on anything. So, and that's why I have to do my best to hold myself together, because they have to trust me over what they're feeling at the moment, because they're disappointed about they can't see their friends, they're not going to a building, they can't do much. So I have to make sure that I show up because I have to be presentable so they can trust me over what they're feeling at the moment. So, and that's why I have to do my best to hold my.
Shanoa?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. You kind of went out a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
So I want to talk to you a little bit because you do have your background, and I think that sparked a good dialogue. Like, and I'm with you, Charles, on as far as kids. Brandarius, do you have children?
No, man. Yeah, at least.
Probably for some of the same reasons, but I remember my friend was telling me, because I was like, kids are tough. There's a lot of responsibility. He said people like that often make the best parents because you understand how serious this is. The background. So I saw some people, right before school started on the first day, putting up their kids' backgrounds, boards. And in my mind, all I was thinking is, these are the people who like to be extra. They do, those are the ones posting all the first day pictures, kids dressed to the T. And I only thought about it in that way. And then as I began a dialogue with my team, I learned or came to realization that it was important and also encouraged for parents to set up that workspace for their students, for their children, not only so they could focus, but in case like they were having issues in their background, right? If they don't have the best home, or just so that they don't get teased and they feel safe. And I didn't even think about all those other things that come up now that you're going to school from home that exposes your home life.
Yeah.
As a teacher, have you been exposed to, some more of those issues in the children's home lives and seeing that them being at home, aside from what we've already mentioned, does impact their ability to learn?
Most of my kids, they have been, they don't turn their cameras on, which I encourage, because I teach high schoolers. So they, elementary kids, they all forward to turn their cameras on. High schoolers, they don't turn their cameras on, but the ones that I have that have turned their cameras on, I haven't seen any issues. I just hear, sometimes I hear parents and stuff in the background, but like as far as like the aesthetics of how it looks, I haven't ran into that issue.
Okay. Yeah. I want to switch gears real quick. I see you have on a really nice hat.
Oh, thank you.
Can't see your full fit, but let's see what your Fancy Friday is looking like.
Okay, styling, Shanoa.
I gotta stand up.
Look, we want to see you, honey.
Oh, okay. A little, I don't know if you can see. Let me move my chair. Full fit. You can't see the full fit. Can't see the full fit because, my shoes just set it off. You can't see my shoes, but it's on the picture.
You're gonna listen. If we can't see your shoes, you're gonna have to take one of those shoes off, put it in your hand, and display it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta see the shoe. First of all, what does your shirt say? What does your shirt say?
It says, I'm a teacher, classy, educated, and essential.
Okay.
Shirts by Shahala. I gotta shout her out.
Fact.
Shirts by Shahala.
Shirts by Shahala. Put that in the comments.
Yes.
That's for sure.
My friend put my outfit together. Akea Thompson. My shoe right here. My little shoe game right here. My little heel.
I appreciate you sharing the shoe. That's a bad shoe. I like that.
Thank you.
I'm into shoes.
Well, you're into fashion. You always come through just looking. What do you have on?
Who you talking to? Me?
You, Charles.
You looking good, Charles.
Oh, I'm looking good. Really, me? Just a little something. I got on one of my custom jackets. You know what I mean? Like
By Shiv Lives.
Right? Yeah, Shiv Lives. I have a button-up Levi's linen shirt for the summertime, and I got it a little cracked open. It got a little gold chain. Just a little fashionist.
I'm digging all this. I every time we were doing Fancy Friday every week, when we first started for about 8 weeks in a row. So I was seeing you all the time. So now when I see you on the first Friday, I'm like, I miss him. He's looking good.
You know, I miss you too. But I be seeing you. See, you post more than me. I don't be posting. You be posting and you be all your pretty face all on the internet and all of that.
Thank you.
I just wait till Fancy Friday.
No, you do this every day. That's why it ain't a thing for you. You do this every day. Now, speaking of words,
Y'all know that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying y'all looking good. Everybody on the call looking good.
Yes, and I want Mr. Brandarius to let us know about his shirt too, because we got words on shirts tonight. Okay.
I guess it's my turn, huh?
We want to know about your shirt. Show it to us.
We trying to figure out what your shirt is about, brother. What's your shirt about?
The world wouldn't spin the same without you.
Okay. All right.
You know, just a simple way to let everybody know that they have a purpose in this world, and also a way to let yourself know if you should ever forget. I think it's timeless and forever relevant. I don't think there should ever be a time where you can tell somebody that they don't have a purpose or the world would be the same without them. So that's that.
I love it. That's Day One Ambition clothing and apparel. And now, so everybody out there who's listening right now, I usually have a PowerPoint. We're having some technical difficulties tonight, and I have my PowerPoint. And on that PowerPoint, I usually share the guests' pictures and brands and their social media handles. I'm gonna still type it all in the chat, and I'll make sure after I go and I post it so you know who they are and what they do. But yeah, I'm not doing the PowerPoint tonight, but we're gonna make sure you get their information. So really quick, Shador, before we move on down and get ready to gear up, you started your own nonprofit. I think it's especially important, as you were just talking about, hey, you're a parent of an elementary student, but you teach high school students, and you start your own nonprofit called It Takes a Village Las Vegas. Tell us about that and why you started it.
Well, It Takes a Village was founded about 3 years ago, and I put it together because there was a young man that was murdered on campus, Dalvin Brown, at Canyon Springs about 3 years ago, and his birthday just passed, so rest in heaven, Dalvin Brown. But it's in honor of him, and I just thought to get the community leaders on board and get them on campus and for just rally around the school and the students in support. Get community leaders on there, and our slogan was not on our watch. This is not going to happen ever again, where a student goes to school and they won't come home. So we got a lot of the faith-based community, different organizations, businesses, a lot of different people to come and volunteer and get together and just come on campus and support the students. In different ways. So that's the reason why I started it. And we've done a couple of things in the past 3 years. We recently just put together a conference for the class of 2020, marked, empowered, and positioned in the pandemic 2020. And we had some powerful speakers come on and just give them some wisdom for their next journey in life. So that's pretty much It Takes a Village.
Now, under your Oh, sorry, was somebody saying something?
No, I said that's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
So much greatness out here in Vegas alone, and in the world. And I think it's important that we highlight it. I'm especially, although we don't service only our community, but we service especially our community. I'm always full to see so many of us young Black professionals doing things to give back. And so speaking of that, like your nonprofit has an initiative right now where you have your high school students helping out because of this pandemic, right?
Yeah. So I teach seniors, and a lot of them, they need another route to volunteer for their volunteer work, to get into colleges. So they are going to, I'm getting some students together, and they're going to actually volunteer at the elementary schools and with different parents to go in and help in like the reading time, the reading circles, or they can get with parents of elementary schools, and because a lot of the elementary kids, they missed out on a whole semester where all the kids did, but it's harder with elementary kids because the elementary school years are really important to the success of how they see school. So with what the high schoolers will do, they'll with the parents, they can send in their homework and get on a Google Meet and help them with their homework or go over sight words or math problems, and then the elementary school teachers can adopt a high schooler to come in and help them with their reading circles. So we're just getting students, high school students, some volunteer hours so they can put on their college application on what they're doing in their community to help during the pandemic. So that's what we're doing.
And is this open? Is this open for college students across the board, or is this restricted to just?
Yeah, I'm gonna open it up.
I mean,
to
high school students.
Yeah, all high school students, college students, because they're home too, so they want to volunteer. They can email me at ittakesavillagelasvegas@gmail.com. And then if there are any elementary school teachers, if you want a high schooler to come in and help during that time, because I've seen it. My daughter, her teacher trying to get on 5 Zooms and listen to them read. Boy, I said, boy, let me get on here and help you. He tried. He was really trying. I know he looked like he's about to cry. So it was a lot. So he needs some help trying to get on 5 Zooms. Who gonna do that?
I love that. So, you're engaging these high schoolers, teaching them how to give back. Like, modeling is just the best way for us to change the world, right? We do it, and we start them young with doing it. I'm so excited about it. I want to shout out because you have some support here on our Facebook Live. Donnell Thomas is saying, "Hey, friend." Irma
Hey,
Brooks,
Donnell.
we call you a classy teacher.
Hey, TT.
You got Juanita Nelson Brown calling you her
That's my
daughter.
mother-in-law. Yes, my mother-in-law.
We got Glenroy Cole saying, "What's up," commenting. And our viewers are staying on, so they are enjoying it. So y'all, if y'all want to know more about Shanoa and what she's doing with It Takes a Village, I tagged her on Facebook in our chat, but you can also find them at ittakesaVillage.lasvegas.com. She gave out the Gmail if you want to get your students involved, ittakesaVillage@gmail.com. And you can also find her on Instagram at the same place. And I want to iterate that for any teachers or parents and or students who are just struggling to find balance, you got some tips here tonight, but you can reach out to her, I'm sure, for more tips. And you also have support here with us at MHS and Solutions of Change. Thank you, Shanoa. I hope you stick around and dance with us.
Thank you, Shanoa.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Listen. Not only thank you for being on the show, but thank you for what you're doing. I think it's important to vocalize and publicize the work that people are doing in the community because it's very underappreciated. So we thank you for it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Keep up the great work with those youth, especially
Thank
keeping them safe. Making sure nobody gets, get their life taken or cut short on campus. That's huge. I remember that incident. So kudos to that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to say, when I asked about teachers, I had quite a few people tagged, and I started looking on their pages like, and you immediately stood out. And so, I know God meant for you to be here tonight, for people to continue to know about what you're doing, and it's so needed. So I'm just thankful. It always turns out to be a great show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
If you said God meant for her to be in here, I need Donnie to put me in E flat again.
Right. Come on. Come on, E flat. Come on, E flat.
I know. Yeah, you know what time. Hey, you know what time it is. It's time for offering. it's time to give. Oh, okay. It ain't really coming through. It ain't coming through for me. But so for everybody who's watching the show and haven't seen, obviously I'm the co-host, but I'm also the fundraiser for Solutions of Change. You know what I mean? Oh, look we got the technology fix. Here we go. Go ahead and go to the fundraising part of it. So before we pass it over to the good Reverend Dr. Donnie DL Music, we're gonna go ahead and talk about Solutions of Change. So Solutions of Change, for those who don't know, is a nonprofit organization that is basically put together for the intent for people to be able to get the help that they need from a financial standpoint and also emotional standpoint, mental and spiritual standpoint for their wholeness. But if anybody's ever had mental health services, you know it costs money. It's not free. And so there's a lot of opportunity for us to be able to contribute to help other people get the help that they need. So I'm here to encourage everyone, give $5, give $10, give $20, give $100, give whatever you can to Solutions of Change. The cash tag, if you want to give through Cash App, it's cash tag Solutions of Change. And if you want to give through PayPal, it's solutionsofchange@gmail.com. So once again, this is a beautiful organization that would, every dollar counts. I like to say that every dollar is important. The help that you give and the money that you give can help somebody live a very healthy and successful life. And that's a very powerful thing. So I just wanted to encourage everyone in this intermission to dig in your pockets and let the Lord touch your heart with the offering. Give what you can what you give. And we say all this in His name.
Yeah, you are.
Solutions of Change, once again, hashtag Solutions of Change, and PayPal solutionsofchange@gmail.com. That's my first fundraise for the night. It's one more coming.
That's the first one.
That's the first one. There's one more coming.
It's your turn, Donnie.
It's on me. I apologize. Hold on 1 second. All right. So there was a request tonight that I do a song, the namesake of this month. So we're going to get that out the way first. We're going to get that out the way first. So I hope you guys enjoy this. If you know the song, you can clap your hands. Do a Donnie Lee swag. Do you remember the 21st night in September? Love to change the minds of the pretenders while chasing the clouds away. Our hearts were ringing in the key that our souls were singing as we dance in the night and remember how the stars stole the night away. Oh, party up, say that you remember. Party up, dancing in September. Party up, never was a cloudy day. Badu, 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 yeah. My thoughts are with you, holding hands with your heart to see you. Only blue talking love. Remember how we knew love was here to stay. Oh, now in December, found the love that we shared in September. Only blue talking love, remember. True love we share today. No, Maria, say that you remember. Maria, dancing in September. Maria, dancing in the night away. Badu, 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 Jordan. Maria, say that you remember. Maria, dancing in September. Maria, dancing in the night way. Do you remember the 21st night in September?
Y'all give it up for Sexy Chocolate. Y'all give it.
Oh my God, I asked him at like 5:30, do you think we can play September? Can you do September? That's literally one of my favorite songs. That one and the Kirk Franklin's version, okay? Thank you, Donnie.
My pleasure.
Sexy Chocolate. Give it up for Sexy Chocolate. That boy good.
He good, our licensed music therapist. So listen, it is September, and September is my favorite month just because like that's when we start noticing that it starts to get cool here in Vegas again. Fall is rolling around. It's also Suicide Awareness Month. And next week starts National Suicide Prevention Week. And on September 10th is World Suicide Awareness Day. And suicide awareness is something that's really big for us here at MHS and Solutions of Change. Over the last 3 years, we have participated in the Suicide Awareness Walk at Bob Miller with the Office of Suicide Prevention and Nevada Coalition of Suicide Prevention. We have done assemblies at middle schools on suicide awareness. I shut down my entire office last year just so we could go out and do some awareness assemblies for over 250 middle school students at 3 middle schools. And so it's so important. And sometimes we think that having this dialogue with teenagers and adolescents is too soon, but we know now that suicide is the leading cause of death for youth ages 12 to 19. So we have to have this talk more than ever. Y'all know that in June, actually on my birthday, I found out that one of the youth I worked with last year completed suicide. And so it's so important that we have this talk and we have it candidly and we have it directly, because with the exposure to everything, the more we're exposed to something, the likely the risk of it increases. And so they're hearing it on music, we're hearing it on, seeing it on TV, seeing it on social media. And it's not just for our youth. Elderly, suicide is one of the highest reasons for death amongst the elderly, and especially during this pandemic because everyone's at home. And so everybody right now is being hit hard. And so it's important that we talk about this month. And I'm excited to talk with our guest, Brad Darius Johnson, who is the founder of Day One Ambition, because suicide hits home for him and it's a big reason for his push. And he's doing some great things around it. So let's welcome you again, Mr. Johnson.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome, Brad Darius. My man.
Appreciate it.
So I see you got your logo behind you. Thank you.
I can't really hear you.
You can't hear me?
Denisha, your sound is a little tinny. It's like it went from like a small echoey sound.
What about now?
That's a little better.
She was.
Where are you going?
Please stop.
Because of, she sharing to Facebook, and so I'm wondering if you catch that echo. Anyways, tell us about Day One Ambition.
So sad. Like, you gotta watch the movie. Like,
Brendera, she was saying, tell us about your organization.
Okay. My brand is called Day One Ambition. I like to think that it's pretty self-explanatory. Back when I initially started it, it was just like, the first day you do something, you carry so much excitement. First day of school, first day of work, got your new outfit on. You first started dating somebody, y'all excited, everything is gravy. So, what I thought to myself was, if you don't have that same ambition you had on day one, on year 5 or year 10, then it's time to reevaluate your life. And then as far as, the everyday is day one thing, I realized that yesterday is gone and tomorrow may never come. So all you truly have is, the day that you have right now. And I think early on, for myself, it was just about pushing, taking pain and doing something productive and positive with it. And now I'm at the point in my life where I realize the same things that you can do out of pain, you can do out of love. So really transition into just, love every individual opportunity you get to give it your all and, try to reach your fullest potential. I think I didn't know exactly how much power Day One Ambition every day is Day One held, but now I'm starting to see different areas unfold as far as fitness, Day One Ambition, athletics. If I choose to go back to get my master's or have some clinical support, there's every day is Day One could be a whole, rehabilitation center. So right now I'm just really, taking the time to let myself develop as a person. And I think through that, people will be even more inspired to, continue their own personal journeys to heal, cope, whatever they need to do for themselves and the people around them. So, yeah.
Can y'all hear me now? So I hear you saying like it's developing into so much because now you're seeing the power of what's behind Day One Ambition and doing things out of love rather than pain. So you mentioned like the fitness. You also have a clothing and apparel. You also have a production company. Tell us a little bit about how you're able to push and evolve, like how that evolution is taking place for you as an entrepreneur.
Man, to be honest with you, since I was a kid, I've been hustling, whether it was selling shoes or pulling weeds. I mean, whatever I could do to get my hands on some money as a kid, I was doing it. But then, as I got a little bit older, I realized money wasn't, definitely connected to happiness. And then, even with myself, getting in some trouble in certain situations, I just realized that I had to let go of the love for the money and fall in love with purpose and passion. And I think for myself, the message came clear from God to focus on making a difference, and He'll take care of my living. So that's kind of what I've been focusing on for myself. And I know that, if you do things the right way, good things will happen for you. So I don't know, personally, I'm trying to fall so deep in love with my passion and my soul that if I lost everything material, I'll still be all right. And, that's just the way I carry myself, and just trying to be the best person I could be, working through my own frustrations, my own shortcomings, my own fear, my own guilt, my own anxiety, whatever it is that I'm carrying with myself, I want to be able to let it go and let it be a form of light.
Speaking of loss, I know you said that Day One Ambition was something that you always had your mind fixed towards, but you had a personal experience that kind of pushed you to actually walk in your purpose. Can you share a little bit about that with us?
Well, I think, it just shaped my purpose a little bit more, because I've always had like my drive to do something more than just going to school. I was playing football at the time, but my mom was working, 16 hours a day. So I always had that knack in me to want to do something more than just school and ball. But, I lost my first love to suicide June 27th of 2014. And I think, that was when every day is Day One came alive, because I knew I couldn't return to yesterday, and I knew I couldn't, live too far in the future. So it was like, all right, God, with this one day that I have now, what can I do to make myself better and, just pull myself up. So that's where that every day is Day One mindset came into effect. And then just one thing led to another, as far as just like just trying to be purposeful in life. I realized, you know, material didn't really matter at that time because I had, you know, at the time I was heavily into collecting shoes. And then, you know, when she passed, looking at all those shoes in my room, some of them, you know, a majority of them that she bought, it was just like sickening. Like, man, this can't even help me right now. So I didn't know whether to destroy it or give it all away, but I just knew, you know, all right, it's time to transform and put my focus on something different. And that's focus on, you know, my heart and my legacy. And then, you know, just be better as a person, as a man, as a boyfriend, as a future husband. It's just like making myself better because there was a lot of things that, you know, that I could have done better, you know, as a just young kid, early adult, college life, dating. You know, it was a lot of things that I didn't know, and a lot of things that I'm still learning now. So I think just running into my own adversity in life is making me, you know, a better speaker, a better person, a better entrepreneur, because it's all energy based. So it's just like, you know,
Hey, Brandarius, real quick question on that. That's a very deep story, and thank you for being vulnerable enough to share that. In the process of your love, you know, taking her own life, were there any signs that you were able to detect that were like, hey, maybe something's going on, and maybe can you share with the audience some things to be aware of with people that we care and love that can help us detect that?
I think just like, hold on, let me plug up my laptop. I think, you know, there are plenty of signs, but you know how it is, and when you hear anything related to mental health or, hold on, let me plug my computer up.
Y'all out there, y'all got questions for
that.
Brandarius or Shanoa, make sure you put them in the chat.
No, but I was saying, you know, just like with, I don't know about y'all, but for me, whenever I heard about mental health or suicide before this, it was just like, all right, whatever, you know, we know it's there, but to me, it was just something that never happened, or I never knew anybody that close to me that died from suicide or even dealt with depression on that level. But in that instant, in that moment, I realized, you know, like I told you earlier, I know now that's not a question that we tiptoe around, just being direct. You know, if anybody is showing ideation or having those suicidal thoughts, I always ask, you know, do you feel like you're in risk of harming yourself or somebody else? And then if that's a yes, then it's like, all right, we got to get help immediately, because I'm not a professional myself. I don't have no clinical license or anything, you know. So at that point, I don't even try to play in those waters. It's like, let's call the hotline or the police, or get yourself around somebody that can help you. But if they say no and those red flags aren't flying, then it's just like, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about how you feel. Then at that point, I could just be a listener. And then, you know, if my opinion is asked for, I can give it. But I'm realizing now, most oftentimes, people just get so overwhelmed, including myself at times, that, you know, we got to reach out to somebody. And it's the stigma that people are afraid of. And that's what keeps people from reaching out. And it keeps us, I feel like, you know, if we're unfamiliar with those type of conversations or interactions, we don't know what to do. I myself didn't know what to do in that situation when it presented. Well, moving forward, I do. And that's still not, you know, guaranteed that you're going to save somebody's life, because we already know if that's what they truly felt they need to do, you know, it's going to happen, whether it's that day, that time, or the next year. You know, if that seed is planted and it's rooted, it'll manifest. So, you know, I just say, you know, do what you can do, be more empathetic in how we respond to each other and how we greet each other and talk to each other. And it's a lot easier said than done, because sometimes I still get frustrated with people, you know, but that's just, I'm human. So I try not to beat myself up too much, but I do try to pay attention to what I see and feel in people.
And I think that you kind
That's powerful. Yeah, no. Hey, Denisha, I'm sorry to interrupt. Someone else responded. Brandon Word on the Facebook was saying he's interested in understanding the signs, and you being a professional and being connected to people who are in the profession. Can you give like a summation of like bullet points of signs to watch out for people who are susceptible, you know, or maybe on the borderline for suicide?
Are you about to speak, Brandarius?
I was about to say, if I could chime in real quick, man, I think as far as the signs and symptoms, it's probably everything that everybody does on a daily basis. You know, you withdraw from life. You don't have the energy to do the things that you wanted to do. You just feel tired. You sleep more. You're not eating enough. You're eating too much. It's really everything that a normal person does. It's maybe you see a compound or you see this person doing more than one thing, but you got to be mindful that you can also be like functionally depressed, where you get up every day and do everything that you're supposed to do, and you can still, you know, surrender. You can still lose to those dark clouds. So it's just, you know, just being the best thing that you could do is just be a good person. Check in frequently. Don't just, you know, do it because you feel something's wrong. Just try to keep a normal routine of being there for your folks and for each other, because you really might not see the signs.
Yeah, and if I could add to that, depression is a precursor to suicide. And so he listed most of those symptoms of depression: the isolation, the withdrawing, eating excessively, eating too much, sleeping excessively, sleeping not at all, having anxiety, having no motivation, not finding enjoyment in activities that you normally would engage in. Anytime there's a change in normal behavior, then that's a indicator that a crisis has occurred. And so that's really important, because sometimes, like you said, you may not notice the signs. A person goes from being real down and depressed to feeling good, and you think that, oh well, they've changed and maybe they've made up their mind about suicide, so they're optimistic about a way out. So those were the signs of depression. Now, warning signs: someone may be contemplating suicide, of course, ideation, mentioning it, thoughts, saying things like life will be better, you know, I'm no good for nobody, I don't have no worth here, you know, things would be better if I were not here. Paying attention if they're giving away important things that matter to them, making plans, you know. The biggest thing he said is for us is to be present. If you love somebody, and of course, any of us can experience any of those symptoms, but it's having, I say this all the time, there's a criteria. So having a certain number of these symptoms for a certain period of time at a certain frequency. But also sometimes a person can just, a crisis could happen and they could have just, you know, made up their mind at the last minute. Oftentimes, most people who die by suicide will die on their first attempt. But if they've had a previous attempt, that's a high risk factor. So like Brandarius said, we got to stay present and in tune with people. And if you notice something is not right with them or they've changed a little bit, then that's when you have to check in and you have to be direct. And being direct, you know, is asking, are you okay? What's going on with you? And inquiring more, asking open-ended questions. And, you know, there are trainings that can teach you the safe talk teaches the layperson on how to have that conversation. My first experience with suicide when I was in college, and a classmate who I didn't even think I knew that well, we did a project together. She called me because she felt comfortable with me and said she was in the alley and had slit her wrist. And I was like, you know, so there's trainings like that. And then there's ASSIST training, ASIST, the Applied Suicide Intervention, something training, I'll put in there, that can help you with it. But you never know, and just being present and letting the person know that you care about them is the best thing you can do. And if you do have to ask them if they're thinking about suicide, that's what you ask. Don't say, are you thinking about harming yourself or hurting yourself? Because sometimes they may not think that their out is harm. They may think this is better for me. So you just got to be really direct, and it's difficult to have that conversation every time, even in the mental health field. And I just wanted to make sure I put that out there since someone did ask, but y'all can feel free to reach out to me.
Right.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that, because I think that's important. I think a lot of times we don't necessarily see the signs, or we don't see the sign, or we do see the signs, but we don't know what to do with it. And I think that the other side of it is that, like what you said, Denisha, and you do this, let me just say that as the co-host of this show, Denisha gives a lot of credit to everybody else, but this woman is an amazing creation. Like, this woman will check on you. Like, we had a conversation today, and she's just like, how you doing? Like, what's going on with you? Just basically what she just said, she does that as a practice on a regular basis with the people that she cares about. And that is something that we all can replicate, right? We can replicate being present for the people that we love and asking those questions and making sure everything is good, because sometimes you don't even know that somebody has experienced a traumatic situation because they have not revealed that to you. I think that a beautiful example of that is like, God with Bozeman, but none of us knew in the public eye that this man was battling with colon cancer, right? So, and we don't really know who in his circle actually knew that as well. So I think that it's important that, and to realize that as individuals, sometimes it's not easy for us to share what our struggles and our traumas are during certain periods of time. And we need our tribe and the people who care about us even to check on us when we seem like we're okay. Because in those times that we seem like we're okay, we may be experiencing a trauma that we just haven't revealed. So I think that is very important to just be present for your people. And Brandaria said that as well, right? It's like, just show up for your people. Like, if you know these are your people, ask questions, check on them, and trust your intuition. Sometimes there is something inside of you that will pull you to be like, call this person. Yeah. And you need to do that. Like, it's been so many times where I've been like, man, like I felt a need to call somebody or to reach out to somebody. And then in hindsight, I realized that I missed an opportunity because they revealed something to me later that I was like, man, I would have called. Like, I actually thought about calling you during this time, or sis, I thought about calling you, our love. Like, I thought about calling you during this time and I didn't. Because we don't always like trust our intuition, and so sometimes it's important for us to do that as well, right?
Yeah, and Brandon Ward, he said, "Is it guilt?" So Brandon, I'm waiting for you to clarify what that means. Glenn shared that he has lost 3 friends to suicide, and it does have a lasting effect on those who are left behind. It's necessary that if you're dealing with suicidal ideation, or are the loved one of a friend that has lost someone as a result, please reach out for help. And, we say be present, and check in, but it's being observant. It's listening to what's not said. And I can't hone in on that enough, because oftentimes when people are really depressed, especially if they're contemplating suicide and they're serious about it, they don't want you to know. So you won't know unless you really are paying attention and watching their behaviors. When people are reaching out for help, is because there's still hope. That helplessness, hopelessness, and feelings of worthlessness, right? They still have a little bit of hope. But when they've made up their mind, it's absolutely too late. And I asked you, Brandarius, if you felt guilty, because I know that your loved one did, your girlfriend did share with you her ideation, and I'm thankful that you kind of shared that you didn't. Can you talk a little bit about how you were able to kind of cope with that and get over those? I don't want to say get over it, but how you were able to cope with it?
Just, at the end of the day, it's just like everything else we deal with in life. We know loss is inevitable. So for me, it was just like, all right, but like I said, it was me and her spoke. Her last words to me was keep speaking. So to me, what I'm saying, I was like, keep doing what you're doing. Regardless of what happened, you're going to be all right. But like, just withdrawing from life, I see it now, hindsight. But it's just like I told you earlier, that day, part of me died, part of me is lost. The last part of me is, here to inspire. And then, I just knew, that wasn't in my cards. Right now, at least, it's not in my cards. I feel like my purpose is strong, so I'm here. And I take it one day at a time. I don't know what's going to happen in 2 years from now, or even 2 hours from now. But right now, I'm solid where I'm standing. And, it's like, from the outside in, people say what they want. Like, there's no heaven for people that die by suicide. There's a lot of mixed feelings about it, just like all the racial inequalities. People feel what they don't understand, and they just say whatever they feel is right at the time. So it helped me grow in a lot of ways. I'm a lot better at not entertaining things that I don't need to entertain. I'm not perfect in it, but, there's still a few things that get me out of character here and there. But for the most part, that situation made me grow so much, because I realized, like, it's people out here with real life problems, and this is what we tripping over. So, I don't know. It's a tough journey. Like I said, sometimes the only thing that really makes me sad now is just like whenever I accomplish something that we planned on doing together. So those type of things, you know. But I just feel like it's a part of life, and I really don't think God will take you through something that's not meant for you.
Amen.
Even, you know, a season and lessons and reasons. So I think she was put in my life to show me, you know, what my reasons are and what my seasons are. So that's the way I leave it. I try to leave it positive, because if not, then we already know the negative thoughts that come with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, that's the best way I can leave it.
Yeah, no, I mean that's beautifully said, right? Romans 8:28, all things work together for the good for those who love God and are called according to purpose. The Bible also says in 2 Corinthians that God will not allow us to go through anything more than we are able to bear. And with those temptations, he makes a way for us to escape. And I think to your point, you know, there's lessons to be learned. Obviously, sometimes it's very difficult because you bear some of that, you know, weight or whatever. But at the same token, Brandarius, I feel like you have used this situation to propel you into a place where you're helping other people. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Appreciate
And
it.
one of the things you're doing right now, tell us a little bit about your 100-mile initiative real quick.
All right. So yeah, as you know, September is Suicide, you know, Awareness Month. The 10th is Prevention Day. You know, the person I lost, she was born September 11th. So like for the last few years, I've been thinking about just doing something, but always push it aside. But this year, you know, I almost pushed it aside again this year, you know, with the lack of planning. It was more of an impulsive act, but I just look at 2020. This showed us already that plans don't mean nothing, because I'm sure all of us had different plans that were completely derailed by COVID and whatever else. So it's just like, man, you know, just an impulsive act. I'm gonna run 100 miles for suicide awareness and prevention. And, you know, just trying to have fun with this journey is really not like to raise money or anything, but rather just get the conversation started and also just push myself to a challenge that I could fail. There's a high failure rate for these type of long runs. And I'm just going to get out there, just trust God and trust myself and trust my body. And whoever wants to come out and get a mile or two in, whether, you know, they run, bike, skate, scooter, car, whatever it is, we doing it. I'm not really, you know, worried about a route. I'm really not planning. I'm just going to wake up and, you know, put my best foot forward and pray that God lead me where he want me to go. And that's the way I plan on living my life. You know, I could be even more vulnerable. Just this year, I, you know, participated in some therapy sessions, and, you know, the first two things that I got from my therapist was, you know, your fear of failure and wanting to be perfect. So right now it's like, I'm not worried about no type of fear, and I'm not worried about, you know, failure or being perfect. It's just like whatever comes to my heart, I'm gonna do it. And that's the way I plan on living my life from here on out. Because
We appreciate you.
yeah.
Thank you for your passion, y'all. As y'all can see, this man is doing great things. I want y'all to be able to find out more about what he's doing. Follow him at Day One Ambition on Facebook, Instagram. You can also get on his website at www.dayoneambition.com. He has production, clothing, apparel, and I'm going to join you for some of those miles. MHS, the Solutions to Change, is also doing some things for suicide awareness, y'all. And we're getting ready to close out. On Saturday, September 26th, we will be doing a major suicide awareness event across the city. Just stay tuned. I'll be posting about it. Keep that morning open. Save the date, Saturday, September 26th from 9 a.m. to 12. We are going to be engaging with Dignity Health Hospital, with Vegas Roots Garden, with RAM, with Nevada Partners, and with Ty's Place, a safe place for teens, and talking about suicide awareness. And we'll also be giving you guys lunch on the go, donated by the Culinary Arts Academy. So we are trying to continue to raise awareness even in the midst of a pandemic. And we don't want people to be alone. Listen, you are not alone. You don't have to be alone. We are in this together. Solutions to Change is here for those who can't afford it, who don't have it. That's why we're doing this fundraiser. And MHS is also here. And if anybody needs help, reach out and know that there is help. We are all going through the same thing in an unprecedented time in history at the same time. So it's so easy to think they're going through their stuff too, but no, you matter. And like Brandarius says, I love that tagline. The world wouldn't spin the same without you. Your life matters. We need you to live. And I just thank you both. Thank you both for being here tonight.
Absolutely, thank you. And I would just like to end and piggyback off what Denisha said. And, you know, I'm just thinking in terms of like, you know, if we're all in a situation and we have someone close to us that may be in a very sensitive situation and it may be in a very vulnerable situation. And I guess the question I would ask every person who's listening and every person that's watching is, would you be willing to help? And sometimes that help is the referral to someone like, or an organization like Solution and Change. And then sometimes it is a contribution. And there's no price that is to be paid for someone's life. And like I said, when we did the fundraiser earlier, and once again, fundraising right now is, you know, understanding that what Solutions of Change is about is basically giving people the opportunity to circumvent these outcomes. And instead of taking their own lives, being able to make a step towards reaching out to enhance their life. Which oftentimes there's a price tag with. And so for those of you who are able to give, please give. Once again, hashtag Solutions of Change. And if you're using PayPal, solutionsofchange@gmail.com. And with that being said, I'll hand it back over to Denisha, and I think Donnie is going to take us out.
Yeah, I can't put the PowerPoint back up, but thank you for that, Charles. And I want to shout out our brand ambassador, Trina Marie, who's not with us tonight. She has been donating as she promised from her work. We got $300 donated from her, and some other people have definitely been donating as well. So we just thank y'all all because it goes so far. So that's all I got to say. Thank y'all for tonight. Please reach out to both of these wonderful people. I'll put their information in the chat. And y'all be blessed and be safe and have a good Labor Day weekend.
Appreciate
Donnie,
it.
thank you.
So you, Sexual Chocolate.
So, I want to do a song. Monday, I had the privilege of participating in the International Overdose Awareness event that took place in Vegas. We actually did a video of a song that we all know. And I turned my light purple for it. You can't really see it that well, right? I got purple light on. So
I can see it. I can see some purple.
Do Purple Rain.
Hey,
Just
right there with you.
Of those who have taken their lives,
See
but
right
also
there.
I couldn't even hear what you said, bro. Say it one more time.
I'm right there with you.
Oh yeah.
He
I see.
changes light purple. I'm gonna change mine purple. Oh, I can't.
So we're gonna do this song to honor those that we've lost, but also to honor those that are still with us, right? Suicide is real. We know that the struggles and troubles in life are real. And so we definitely want to honor that and thank all of those who are still here, still fighting, right? And we want you to know that we're here with you and for you. Okay, Purple Rain.
And y'all out there, continue to share this information, okay? Make sure y'all share this video.
Never meant to cause you any sorrow. Never meant to cause you any pain. Only wanted one time to see you laughing. Only want to see you laughing in that purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Only want to see you bathing in that purple rain. Never wanted to be your weekend lover. Only wanted to be some kind of friend. Yeah. Darling, I can never steal you from another. Such a shame our friendship had to end. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. We want to see you underneath that purple rain. Honey, I know, times are changing, yes. Oh, yes, they are. Oh. It's time to reach out for something new. It means you too. You say you want to leave, you can't seem to make up your mind. I guess you better close it and let me guide you to the purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Oh, purple rain, purple rain. Oh, only want to see you, only want to see you in that purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Only wanna see you underneath that purple rain.
Listen, this is the only place you're getting that good old live music, okay?
from your home. I thank y'all again. I want to say thank you to both of our guests. And look, Donnie, I don't know if you know, but purple is the color for suicide awareness. So you're always on point. Listen, we are far over time. We usually try to end right on time. We want to respect everybody's time. I thank all the people who are still out there watching and listening. Don't forget to share this video. Make sure y'all go follow It Takes a Village Las Vegas. Go follow Day One Ambition. Donate to Solutions of Change, and keep yourself safe and happy and in mental health, okay? God bless y'all. Good night.
That's good.
God bless. Good night.
Good night.